Salam alaikum. Malaikum salam. How you doing? How you doing? So I am waiting for Jasenia from One Free Community to join. As the description, well, I don't know if Canada has Black Friday sales. I think they do. Somebody in here was from Canada, right? Riri? Maybe you could say if Canada has Black Friday sales, but any place with Black Friday sales, that's what this call is about. Okay, that's what this live is about. So we're gonna wait on Jasenia to join from One Free Community. Let me see. And then our behinds home on Black Friday and not buy a single thing. Because what we are trying to do is we are trying to vote with our pockets, okay? Because right now, people in Congress, leaders all around the world, still think that we are in the same mindset. They still think that they can get away with all of this genocide, all of this injustice without consequence. Okay, so.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome.
I'm so itty bitty.
I know, I'm trying to make a split screen. I don't know why that happened.
Well, I know why, but for some reason it wouldn't let me do the invite. So I'm gonna leave again. I'm gonna try again and see if it'll send now that I connected to you here. I don't know why.
Okay.
TikTok's being weird. All right,
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Okay. So once Jasenia comes back, we'll just dive in and get started. But I don't know about y'all, but I've been saving a lot of money boycotting.
We're all over the place.
There we go. Okay, so let's get started. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So I already told the audience that the whole goal for Black Friday is to not buy a single thing, not even a pack of gum, but go ahead and get into it, girl.
Stuff, go trade some things, go connect to your neighbors, go find some buy nothing groups. We have a form on our page where we're collecting. So if you know of groups that do buy nothing, even if it's just local, because we want to make like a little spreadsheet where people can search and say, okay, I'm in Michigan and I want to find a buy nothing group, and here's 20 of them, right? If people fill out the form and just share the link to the group, and then people can find it and join and whatever. So we have a few on there now, but the more people that put on there, the easier it is for us to find these groups, because like a lot of them, I'm not on Facebook, so I don't even know how to find them, but I might get Facebook if it was a buy nothing group, right? Because you're just getting your stuff for free. Just say, hey, I have a microwave. I have 2 microwaves. What I'm going to do with 2 microwaves? Just give it away to someone else. That's mutual aid, right? I know how to knit. I can teach that to somebody. That's mutual aid. So what we're doing is we don't need money. There's abundance. Look around your house, how much stuff you have that you don't use. You just give it away, and then someone will give you what you need. That's as easy as that.
It's as easy as that. And that's something that I don't think people understand. Like we've grown so accustomed to just buying to the point where this has never sat right with me, but it's gotten so bad in the US that people get trampled to death on nearly every Black Friday, or used to be. So for those who are not in the US who are sitting on this call, they actually had to extend Black Friday to like
Thursday night
prior. Yeah, Thursday night, Thanksgiving night prior, because Black Friday used to be in just very few select hours on Friday after Thanksgiving, and people would line up outside of these stores And as soon as the doors opened, they would go ballistic, like absolutely ballistic, trampling each other. There would be several deaths a year from people being trampled to death, all for like cheap TVs or just the
Or
most
toys.
ridiculous. I know that's right. And for those who are really about that life, like for those who are really trying to make a difference, we're not Christmas shopping this year either. Well, obviously I'm not,
No.
but I mean, we not. Like,
Right.
as a whole, we're not Christmas shopping this year either. The whole point is to make this shift happen, right? So we grew up in such a capitalistic society. We grew up with our lives revolving around capitalism. We now have started boycotting. Many of us, for those of us who have already have been boycotting just different brands throughout our lives, we're used to it at this point. But for those of you who have just started boycotting, I bet what you're finding is that it's very easy to cut things out of your life once you just do it. Once you just make that jump and cut the Starbucks, Disney, McDonald's, etc. out of your life, it is that much easier to do it. And not only that, you're finding that you're saving money. You're finding that the over consumerism or us over consuming before was ridiculous. And so you become far more mindful of the things that you buy. You become far more mindful of where they come from. You become far more mindful of what it does to not just the environment, but to people, right? So now we're not buying the new iPhones because we know now that funds genocide in Congo. Now we're not buying from Walmart and Starbucks and things like that around Christmas time because we now know that funds the genocide in Palestine, in Gaza.
If you do need to buy something because you're looking for the sales and you've been waiting all year, we have to be selective. We know what's best for us in our lives, and some people need to shop at these places because of accessibility, because this is the only place that has the thing they need because of their disability, whatever it may be, right? But if you can, buy it local. If you can, go to local mom and pop shops and buy it there, support the organizations and the communities and each other, right? If we can support, give the money back into the community, it's not getting funneled up to the corporate billionaires.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So if you absolutely have to buy during this season, please buy locally. Please buy specifically from small businesses that you know support the right causes. And if you even have to ask the owners specifically, hey, before I spend my money here, what do you think of this, 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 and this? So be it. But there's nothing wrong with that. And if they say, actually, I support something opposite of what you support, thank you for your time. And you just politely walk out. But make sure that from now on, from this point forward, you are voting with your money. You are voting directly with your money. Of course, vote in local elections and actually vote as well. But you have no idea how much of an impact cutting off money to certain corporations can actually do. So, and we need a united front on this in order for it to be successful. So we can't just do lip service. We can't just come online and say, okay, guys, no shopping on Black Friday. I better not see lines going out of stores and wrapping around on Black Friday after we just, as collectively as Gen Z and millennials, have been on here telling everyone not to shop for Black Friday or not to Christmas shop or anything like that at these major corporations. We need to really start walking the talk. And we're more than capable of it. That's the thing. We're more than capable of it because not just, if anything, even if we're not capable of it just within ourselves, we're all broke, ain't we? We're all broke right now
Hmm.
with
With what money?
inflation,
What money?
with what
With
money are
stagnant
you with
wages.
what money are y'all
Right, right.
shopping Black Friday anyway?
I know, right? If minimum wage had kept up with inflation, we would be getting minimum wage at $26 an hour.
If not
$26 an
30.
hour. So if you're not making that, you're making we are the money that we our spending power now is worse than what it was when during the Great Depression and the French Revolution. Y'all, this is what
Exactly.
we're living through. Why are we giving them more money? Why are we letting them continue? That's why they're doing the ceasefire now, to
Yes.
distract us. And but we're also kind of in an echo chamber because we're all here on TikTok and we're all involved in talking about it, which is great. We need to get off TikTok, connect to each other, get into communities, get into your organizations. You can join ours, which is a virtual third space, or you can join in-person organizations. We're trying to network with a bunch of them. In fact, Jean Lee is starting a server for organizing the organizers, which I want to talk to you about at some point too. But
Okay.
they're kind of doing what you talked about at Barter for Our Future. So that's one of the things that I want to get all of us connected. I mean, in the end, I want us all connected so that we can all be moving together. Right.
Hmm.
That's the whole point. But again, back to my point was that we're here on TikTok and we're talking about it. We're doing it. We're living it. Right. But for the people who live exclusively with their head in the sand, we got to make sure that their lives are disrupted too. They don't get to
Absolutely.
live a peaceful life of shopping and acting like we're still in the 80s. We're not. It's not
I know
2000
that's right.
anymore. It's not 1980 anymore. Stop spending. Stop
Hmm.
buying. It's not going to fill the emptiness that you're feeling from not having a community, which was stripped away from you from colonization. End of rant.
Oh, we let's set up a follow-up call because we could get into that
Oh, we can
absolutely
talk about
for
this all
quite
day.
a while. For quite a while. But you made an excellent point that I want to go back to and highlight earlier. The reason why they're doing a ceasefire is for us to be like, oh, problem solved. Let's go back to supporting these companies. Let's go back to spending money at these companies. And we need to show them that is not the case. When we say boycott, we mean for life. We mean we saw what you did. You did us dirty. You did Palestinians dirty. You did people in Congo dirty.
In
You did people
Sudan.
all over the world dirty. For life. Like you are done. You are done. We are not about to do this. So if y'all so people said where are the pro-lifers? Exactly. Like we really need to come together as a united front and realize that we do not need this stuff. Show me anything. Show me anything on this world, in this world, any materialistic thing that is worth a human life, and I will call you a liar. Because you cannot find anything that is worth even a single human life, let alone thousands, let alone millions. In the case of Congo, millions. This is over 6 million
Hmm.
people who died in the Congo
Oh yeah. And
to the cobalt and to that's in our smartphones and devices and things. 6 million people.
and all the lithium,
Right.
all the lithium batteries. That's talking about smart cars, tablets,
Mm-hmm.
phones, anything electronic, right? Computers. And then I
Electric
went back and like
vehicles.
pulled up a list. I pulled up a list for a TikTok I made, like maybe 3 or 4 TikToks back, of all the countries that the United States either funded the genocide or funded the organizations that created disruption and destabilized the country. And the list was over 30 countries long. And I'm sure I didn't even touch the surface of it. It's basically the whole world, right, at this point.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
I actually missed a few of the bigger ones on the list, and people were calling me out on it. I was like, I only had so much room on the screen before it cut me off. But yeah, it just keeps going. It keeps going
Mm-hmm.
and going and going. Like you go back, it's like the Russian doll. You open one and you start seeing more, and you start seeing more. It just never ends. It keeps going. How far back we've been dealing with colonization.
And that's the thing. You will be hard pressed. You will be hard pressed to find a corporation, like a major corporation, that has their hands clean. You will be hard pressed to find a giant corporation that does not have blood on their hands, which further, like, because y'all have to remember, corporations own politicians. It's not the other way around. The
Yeah,
corporations
the
are who
United
owns
States
government,
is the
not the other way
United
around.
Corporations of America at this point.
Exactly. So y'all have to pay very close attention to the elections, or to the campaigns for the elections, because I think what we've gotten used to is just, all right, like, just call me when I have to be at the polls to vote for the president, and I'm out. I'm checking out of everything else. When you pay attention to the actual election process, do you realize what has to happen for a major candidate to be on the ballot? It's not their it's not their competence that puts them on the ballot. It's not who is the most uh, adequate to be president of the United States. It's not who is the most qualified to be the president of the United States. It's who has the most in super PAC money. It is who has the most money from corporations. Joe Biden, and nobody was checking for Joe Biden. No one was checking for the people. The people of the United States did not want Joe Biden in office. We did not want Joe Biden in office. You know what put
Right.
him in office? It was he had the most super PACs. He had the most corporations backing him. And the reason why the most corporations backed him is because they knew he was the candidate most likely to do their bidding. He was the
He was the
candidate
most
that could be most likely
bought.
bought.
Mhm. And then on top of that, they want an electoral college, a system that was created to enable white slavers to continue to hold power when they created open elections. So they're like, okay, we'll have a general election, but we're really going to have an electoral college so that we can continue to hold power. So we still have to abolish the electoral college. But
Absolutely.
even if you do everything right and you follow all of the systems that were set up in place, you have gerrymandering, and then you have just plain old corruption. Like, look at what's happening in Cop City. They did everything right, and now they're labeling them as the T word and using RICO charges against them because against people who are getting mutual aid and community support to get them legal aid to fight the court cases for getting arrested at protests. Like, this is where we're at, y'all. They're using RICO charges to get people who are protesting in trouble.
Yeah.
In
For
the
like
country of the
major
free.
charges, like years in prison,
Yeah.
major charges. So we need to really pay attention to what these politicians are saying, because there's so much specific language that is used. When you start looking at the campaign trails, you will start seeing politicians say things in very specific ways that avoid questions. And like they will, I wish I could find a perfect example, like Kate Porter. A lot of people love Kate Porter, but she is taking nonprofit money. But she'll be on the campaign trail and say, I am not taking or I have not taken a single corporate dollar.
Mm-hmm.
They will use language like that, trying to make it seem like they cannot be bought either, when in reality they're accepting money as well, just elsewhere or in another way. So y'all really need to pay attention to what these politicians are saying and do your own homework.
Well, we already saw Katie Porter is already not supporting the ceasefire. So, like, for all the talk that she did, I mean, that's the thing, right? If you are not for everyone's liberation, you are not for everyone's liberation. That's it. That's it. And that's all
Period.
we're asking for. We want collective liberation. We want everyone to have to live the life that they want to live.
I'm
What is
sorry.
your
Somebody
premise?
from my
What's
book
going on?
club is saying emergency. What's going on? I'm sorry to pause it, but
You're fine.
what's happening? Nelly, if you wanted to send me like a Discord message again, it pops up on my screen so I could check it. I'm unable to check my DM right here. But if you could send the DM, it'll pop up on my screen of like what's wrong. Because all I saw was emergency, but I didn't see like a follow-up message. So if you could send it now, it'll pop up on my screen so I could read it right now.
And I want to say somebody is sending me gifts through TikTok, and I don't want them to, just because TikTok takes a huge cut. And we would rather, if you have money to donate to One Free Community, so that we can support and continue to do the work that we're doing. We have weekly events. We have a mutual aid server that we support and help people like get connected to organizations. Like, we don't have any funds, right? So any donations that are sent to us, we use them to like keep us running, like our website paid for, and like little things like that, or pay the volunteers who help us file our paperwork, things like that. But yeah, anyway, just letting you know, like, if you send money through the TikTok, we have no way of getting it out. I was just saying hi to some people from Malaysia are here, 8:30 in the morning. In my comments.
Hello,
and
Malaysia.
And then I was letting them know what we're talking about, so they're all caught up.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So yes, just to reiterate what Yesenia said prior, for those who would like to, or who are trying to give gifts, or who are trying to send gifts or support, if you could take that money that you're purchasing the gifts for, and instead donate to One Free Community, so that they can continue to do the phenomenal work they are doing, and bringing different communities together, and really promoting mutual aid. That would be fantastic. And yeah, so Jasenia, was there anything else that we need to go?
How funny. It was one of my mods kicked me out. I didn't know they could do that. That's so funny. Oh, you guys are fine. It's fine. So yeah, so I'm just going to recap what it was. The event is Make Black Friday Red Again. The idea is, let's not let them get into the black, as in into positive. Let's keep them negative. Let's not give them any more money. We're doing all kinds of alternatives. You can either go to buy nothing groups or Free Cycle. And there's a couple of other organizations. We have a form on our link in bio that you can submit any groups or organizations that do bartering, trading, or low cost, like auction websites are great too. Someone told me about Auction Ninja, which was great. I was like, oh, that's nice. So you can buy things for like estate sale stuff for really cheap. They got a whole like dresser for like floor to ceiling dresser for $1. And then all you have to do is go pick it up if you're local, or have it, or pay for shipping if you're not. So that's kind of, so if you have resources like that, share them. The link is in our bio for the form. You can submit, or you can click the responses and like read what people have shared so far. And then, so that's one. You can trade, you can craft, you can connect to your community organizations and see what other kinds of mutual aid groups there are. Some people do mutual aid and they don't like announce it to anyone, right? Like they do, this group of 20 families get together and swap kids' clothes. Like, or there's organizations or small mom and pop shops. I grew up really dirt poor, like dumpster diving poor and homeless poor. And we would go to the store we would trade in our slightly used clothes that we outgrew because we're little children, and got store credit to buy clothes that were bigger for us. And so we never ended up buying new clothes because we were always just cycling through that store. I don't know if that store still exists anymore. I have to look that up, but that's an amazing organization. So something like that, but you got it was for kids, and you got store credit. So like, your kid will go through 5 sizes in a year, and that's all brand new clothes you have to buy. Well, if you can trade with somebody who has a kid that's slightly older than you, and then you get, but it's more organized than that. Anyway, there's all kinds of options for things like that. But then we're also hosting a virtual protest where we're going to, so if you can go to shutitdownforpalestine.org to find in-person protests, if you can protest in person. And then if you can't protest in person, what we're going to be doing is going live here on TikTok, and we're going to go boost boost pages of people who are actually at the protests. And then every 10 minutes, we're going to take a 5-minute break and do a collective community action. So we're all going to make the same phone call to the same company or to the same, like say, call your senator. That's what we're going to do for the next 5 minutes. Everyone go do that, right? Like we're going to do collective actions. So it's an hour long that we're going to be doing this. We hope to have more of them. And as we get them more organized, we're going to be streaming it. I don't know if it's going to be on Twitch or YouTube, but Calling Up Justice is going to, Claudia Alec from Calling Up Justice is going to help us with that part. I'm still not clear on where we're going to do it yet, but you know, we're all just moving at the pace that we can because we're disabled people. So we're just kind of, you know, moving at crib time. But that's the event. Friday, make Black Friday red again. Come check out our page for more information and more videos. We have a ton of information and a ton of resources to learn and share and listen to podcast videos or other organizations. The BDS is linked on there on our page.
Yes. So everyone, if you still haven't already, go follow One Free Community and Jasenia. And I believe you could just click straight on her
I think if you
her
click
side
on
of the screen right now, and
it leads
you to her page. So go follow. She always has such phenomenal information in regards to mutual aid, protesting, etc. And then she always has some really good stuff in her bio and really excellent resources in her bio. One Free Community is on Discord. So for those of you who are already on Discord, go ahead and join the community so that you can stay up to date. And thank you, Jasenia, for joining me today.
What do you got going on for the rest of the day?
Studying.
All right. Well, have a good night. And yeah, let me know when you're ready to talk again. We got so much to talk about. We could just do an event just chatting.
We could do that.
Anytime. You let me know.
All right.
Do you go live every night? Do you do that every night? Because I see you a lot. No, okay.
No,
I
went live a lot. I went live almost every night. I think it was last week, but Dr. Haifa Yunus, who is a scholar in the Muslim community, I went to her house for dinner after the conference that I was speaking at this past weekend, and she gave me she sent me home with this huge stack of books, and so that's what I've been studying.
Nice.
And so,
and then I know you love you some books, so you're just in heaven.
I do. So that's what I've been studying. But yeah, so I will keep you posted, and we'll do this soon.
All right, talk soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.